This new product has an iconic design with next-level performance. Hi, I'm Christopher Melendi with Allen & Heath. I'd like to introduce you to the exciting rebuild of our popular Q line. Everything's been updated from the core processing engine right down to the faders, knobs, and screws. Although it's an all-new design, we've tried to keep the Q ethos. It should be easy to understand and use, and you can walk right up and start mixing. These new mixers are a perfect match for anyone looking for a reliable, great-sounding, small-format console. Whether it's a house of worship looking to upgrade from an aging digital or analog console, an installation for a live music venue, or a band that wants to add consistency to their sound, the new Q has you covered. Let's take a look at the hardware. There are 3 models with 2 variants of each. For best-in-class audio quality, we use a 96 kHz XCVI Core FPGA processing engine adapted from our flagship D-Live consoles. All models have 38 channels to mix, 32 mono, 2 analog stereo, and 1 stereo USB playback. There are 12 flexible mixes that can be either AUXs for things like monitor mixes or groups for additional processing. The first 6 are mono, but can be linked together to create up to 3 stereo buses. The second 6 are not linkable, but each is selectable as either mono or stereo. That gives you a maximum of 9 stereo buses or 12 mono. There are 4 linkable mono matrices, so you can have either 2 stereo, 2 mono and 1 stereo, or 4 mono. There are now 6 effects engines with 4 dedicated sends and returns that won't eat your processing channels. And we've included a 16-channel automatic mic mixer that uses a gain sharing algorithm. This is one of those must-have features for corporate gigs and discussion panels. Depending on the frame size you choose, there are a multitude of local inputs and outputs to make it easy to connect your sources without additional hardware. But for additional expansion or to remote your audio over a digital snake, we've added an S-Link port that can connect to any of the I/O devices or consoles within the Allen & Heath ecosystem. This could be D-Snake, DX or GX protocols, or even our ME personal monitoring system. This means that someone could upgrade an existing Allen & Heath console and get improved sound and capabilities without needing to invest in new stage boxes. Allen & Heath has a wide range of different I/O, so you can design your system to put the inputs and outputs where you need them. It's important to remember that when you connect an S-Link port to a device, it then becomes that protocol, so you cannot mix and match different protocols on the one port. If you have any questions, please consult our documentation or reach out to your Sweetwater sales engineer for assistance. There are 3 models and you can choose from 2 variants of each, with built-in Dante or without. The consoles with Dante included have the letter D at the end of the model number. The Dante interface is 16 by 16 and can be set to run at either 48 kHz or 96 kHz. The models without Dante can't be upgraded later, as this is a hardware interface, so be sure you pick the right one for your application. All models have dedicated processing controls right on the surface for fast work. There are 4 fader layer keys to access additional channels. The new Q is built with a liquid surface capability, and you can lay out the faders in whatever order you wish to improve your workflow by utilizing the different layers. However, one of the things people really liked about the original Q models was that each fader corresponded to the processing channel, 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and so on. So we've included a setup button that will lay out the console in that mode for you. There are 8 assignable soft keys for things like mute groups, scene control, tap delays, or even MIDI controls. All models now have monochrome scribble strips above each fader to allow you to name channels or buses to cut down on board tape, with chromatic level meters right above the faders. There are dedicated mix select and master controls on the right-hand side of the surface. With a large 7-inch capacitive touchscreen, it's easy to see and control the parameters you need access to. Each frame size has a different number of fader strips and local I/O, but the engine and controls are identical. You can even transfer show files between frame sizes. All models have 2 dedicated stereo analog inputs, 1 stereo AES output, foot switch control, and 2 assignable alt outputs on 1/4-inch TRS jacks. The Qu-5 and the Qu-5D have 17 faders, 16 local mic line inputs on combi jack, 12 XLR outputs, and there's also an optional rack mount kit for installing in a standard 19-inch rack. The Qu-6 and Qu-6D have 25 faders, 24 local mic line inputs on combi jack, and 16 XLR outputs. The Qu-7 and the Qu-7D have 33 faders, 32 local mic line inputs on combi jack, and 20 XLR outputs. Let's talk about the Qu-Drive recording and playback. Each Qu model has multiple options for digital playback and recording that we call Qu-Drive. At the top right of the surface is a USB-A port. You can insert a thumb drive to load and save show files, but that can also be used for stereo record and playback. On the back of the unit, there's an SD card slot, which can also be used for stereo record and playback, or alternatively, you can multi-track to and from that SD card. The interface is 16 by 16 at 96 kHz or 32 by 32 at 48 kHz. There's also a USB-C port that allows you to have a 32 by 32 interface for connection directly to a computer. This can be used for multi-track recording of a live show or even virtual sound check. Audio is sent both to the USB-C and the SD card simultaneously, so you can stream to your computer and create a local backup. For network control, by connecting a wired network or a wireless router to the network port on the Qu, you have several options to operate remotely using either our Mixpad app or Qu4U. The Mixpad app allows for control of most of the functions in the mixer, including channel processing, routing, and patching. It can be run on Mac, Windows, Android, or iPad. The Qu4U app is designed to give performers simplified control of their own monitor mix by locking to an aux send. The Qu can handle up to 8 devices simultaneously, and there is an on-screen tally to show how many are currently connected. Out of the 8 connections, 2 of those can be the Mixpad app. Let's take a look at the processing inside. There is a slick user interface for channel processing that is simple and intuitive while also being powerful. If I press the select button for any channel, the graphics for channel processing are brought right to the touchscreen so I can see everything at once, and it's easy to navigate through either the touchscreen or the dedicated knobs on the surface. In the Source tab, I have control over the preamp and trim, and I can also patch the socket to this processing channel. In the Gate tab, I not only get a 10-second histogram at the top so I can visually check how the gate is performing, I also have the option to filter and sidechain the processing. Next, I have an insert point that allows me to insert an effects engine or go outside the console for outboard processing. I have a 4-band parametric EQ, and the controls for the high-pass filter are in the screen for simplicity. At the end is the channel delay tab, so I can time align 2 different kick drum mics or match a bass DI to the amp. The workflow for buses has a similar feel to input processing. I have an insert point so I could patch an external console in or some outboard gear. Then I have an option for either a 28-band graphic EQ or a feedback assistant. There's a 4-band parametric EQ for tone shaping, compressor limiter, and a delay for time aligning your speakers. Let's look at the gain assistant and our auto gain functions. There are several new features included in the Qu models. Let's have a look at the gain assistant and the auto gain. The gain assistant helps you automatically set your gains for 1 or more channels. It will look at the incoming signal and increase the gain until a nominal level is reached. To select multiple channels, go to the Gain Assistant tab on the utility screen. As an example, you could use this to select all the drum channels and then have the drummer play to get all of your gains set at once. Auto gain can be enabled after your preamps are set. It will look at the signal and reduce the level gradually if it detects any clips. Let's see how that works on one channel. I have a local input selected on this channel and I'm piping a signal in. When I enable auto set, you can see the preamp starts ramping up until the signal is reading a level around 0 dB, then gives you a notification to let you know it's complete. Now I'll manually increase the gain until the signal is in clip. Once I enable auto gain for this channel, you'll see the preamp level gradually reduce until it's out of the danger zone to around plus 12 dB. Another great tool included in the new Qu interface is the Feedback Assistant, which can detect and eliminate feedback on any mix. Each instance has 16 filters that can run in either dynamic live or persistent fixed modes. In the processing menu, you're able to toggle between the 28-band graphic EQ and the Feedback Assistant from the library. By selecting fixed mode for auto apply and enabling the detection, the Feedback Assistant will find and notch the offending frequencies out until they are manually removed. When in live mode, it will remove the frequencies but allow them to return based on the recovery speed selected. In the Adjust menu, you can adjust any individual filter's width, cut amount, or change the filter type between live and fixed. The Qu engine has the ability to run detection on up to 8 feedback assistants simultaneously, which you can set from the config menu. In practical use, even if you have more than 8 of these assistants assigned to mixes, you can just disable detection once you've rung the speakers out, and that will free the detectors up for other mixes to use. As you can see, even though these mixers are designed to be easy for any user, there are a lot of incredible tools built in to satisfy almost any need. If you feel you need even more tools at your disposal, we have a range of plugins that are available from the Allen & Heath website. And if you need any more information about the Q series or any other Allen & Heath products, please reach out to your Sweetwater sales engineer. They'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.